Yeah, that makes sense. How you said authenticity, and so many people think they're being authentic, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're really being their mama or their daddy, or
Mm-hmm. Yep.
or what they think or what they have seen on TV as who they should be in the many different situations of life. What have you discovered about yourself now versus before, and in the becoming of being more and more authentic? What does that really look like for the individual, and the feeling as you know and you can see, or can you see in yourself that you're becoming more authentic
Yes.
over maybe who you used to be?
Correct. Well, like you say, we were told who we were. We were told what to believe, depending on what culture you grew up in. You were told how to behave. You were told to do these things, and then you kind of added on to that on your own. And many times people aren't authentic because they're trying to be like mama, which is nothing wrong. They're trying to be like daddy. They're trying to be like grandma. They're trying to be like their best friend. They're trying to be like the movie star, or somebody who's a
Hmm.
great. There's nothing wrong, but then it's only so long that you can be to pretend to try to be like them before you start discovering your own self.
Hmm.
Because I've learned some of the things that my parents like to do, I don't like doing.
Hmm.
Some of the music they listen to, I don't like to listen to.
Hmm.
So I had to go, okay, what does Terry like to do? And I began that process of, okay, I know what they like to do. I know what makes them happy, but what makes me happy? What makes me genuinely happy? And then when I started begin to be genuinely happy, those that I was mimicking or emulating, all of a sudden had a problem with it. Why you believe in this way? Why do you believe that way? In other words, for me,
Yeah.
my parents being very religious, and they, I won't name the religion, but when we grew up in that particular religion, I had decided when we started Cornerstone, I'm going to lead that. And
Hmm.
the people around me had a huge problem with that, because how dare you change your mind and go do what you want to do to make you happy?
Hmm.
And I had to be authentic to myself. So even when I left religion, not that I left religion, but when I became more spiritual in my understanding from the
Yes.
background I came from, it was, I was trying to still emulate the religion
Yes.
after I left that particular denomination. I still found myself, and the Holy Spirit says, this is not making you happy. Why are you doing it? You're going through the motions based on habit. And I think a lot of it also, of what you were saying, is when we are not authentic, we become habitual to other people's habits.
Mm.
And I was a habitual creature of other people's habits and not my own habits.
Yeah.
And once I started becoming more authentic, those religious beliefs that I didn't really believe in, or didn't, well, let me say this, that didn't no longer serve me at that moment, I began to shift away from. And when I begin to shift away from it, I start becoming more joyful and more happy and more at bliss and more, my biggest thing, more at peace with self. To me,
Hmm.
authenticity is being 100% true to self and being at peace with self, to the point
Hmm.
where I start saying, you know what? Do I want to be right, or do I want to be at peace? And I would always go, I'd rather be at peace, because I don't have
Yes.
to be right all the time. And sometimes I'm not right all the time, and that's okay. But where is
Yes.
my peace? So once I started finding my peace in this now, right now, that's when authenticity started coming into play. Where am I at peace, or do I want to be right? Because I can give a message, and I would always try to push that message, kind of like the typical pastor, and
Hmm.
everybody didn't want to receive that.
Hmm.
And I had to say, you know what? You're just a messenger. Give the message, shut up, move on, and go about your life. It is not your job to help them figure it out unless when they come and ask and you add to it. But at the end of the day, it's their journey. So I had to be authentic with myself and say, you know what? If I give it to you, that's fine. If you accept it, fine. If you don't, I'm perfectly okay with it. Not gonna hurt my feelings. So when I shifted into Cornerstone Faith Church, we began to do everything so non-traditional that people going, well, what are you? You're a Buddhist? Are you? What are you? You know, they start naming all the things that they thought I associated with it, and I would still go, you know what? I'm just a spiritual being. I
Yes.
respect all religions because there is some truth to all of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said, because I understand there's truth to all of it, then why should I succumb myself to just one when it should be for everybody? Everybody's going to have their own journey of where they need to get and how they need to get there. If they happen to come across my path, which I know is a divine intervention, my job is either to learn from it or give what the Holy Spirit gives me to them and then move on. So for authenticity to me is really understanding about loving myself. And I believe when people are mimicking others, they really don't know how to love themselves. They don't wake up in the morning and tell themselves, not everyone, but most people that I know don't wake up and go, man, you look good today. You're going to have a blessed day. Everything is going to work out for you. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. You know, the drive to work is going to be good, et cetera, et cetera. I began to do that. And the more I did it, the more authentic I became, where this is who I am. And I'm okay with it. This is who I am. It didn't matter. Here's what was good about it. Other people's opinions that were negative no longer bothered me. That's when I knew I was authentic, where I was like, okay, you're entitled to that. I can see your point of view, and that's a perfectly okay. We can agree to disagree. At the end of the day, I'm still going to love you.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
me,
That's all.
that was being totally, genuinely true to self because that's who I am.